Hello, and welcome back to Espresso English, the podcast that gives you a strong and energizing shot of English learning. I'm your host, David.
And I'm your co-host, Emma. It's so good to be with you all today.
Emma, I want you to think back to when you first started a big new project, maybe learning a new skill or starting a fitness plan. How did you feel in the very beginning?
Oh, in the beginning, I always feel amazing. I'm full of energy, super excited. I buy all the new equipment. I tell all my friends about it. The first few weeks are fantastic. And what about a few months later?
Oh, well, that's a different story. The excitement fades, it starts to feel like work, it gets harder to find the time, and I start making excuses. It's not as fun anymore.
I think every single person listening right now knows exactly what you're talking about. This experience is universal, and it is especially true for language learning. The beginning is a thrill, but then you hit a wall. Progress feels slow, the grammar is confusing, and you start to lose your energy.
We sometimes call this the intermediate plateau, right? Where you feel like you're stuck and not improving.
Exactly. And when you hit that plateau, the biggest challenge isn't the past perfect tense or phrasal verbs. The biggest challenge is motivation.
So, on today's episode, we're going to tackle this essential topic, how to stay motivated when learning gets tough.
This is such an important topic. I think this could be a game changer for a lot of our listeners who might be feeling stuck right now.
I agree. We're not going to give you simple advice like, just try harder. We're going to give you 7 practical psychological strategies to build a motivation system that will carry you through the difficult times. So get ready to recharge your batteries. Let's begin. Before we get to the practical tips, we need to understand what motivation actually is. It's not just one thing. There are 2 main types of motivation, extrinsic and intrinsic.
Okay, those sound like technical scientific words. Can you break them down for us?
Of course, extrinsic motivation comes from the outside. It's about external rewards or punishments. For example, you study English hard because you want to get a better job, or you want to get a good grade on an exam, or you want to impress someone. The reason for your action comes from outside of you.
Okay, that makes sense. A reward. So what is intrinsic motivation?
Intrinsic motivation comes from the inside. You do something because the activity itself is enjoyable, interesting, or satisfying to you. You learn English because you genuinely love the process of learning, you're curious about other cultures, or you feel a deep sense of personal accomplishment when you understand a movie or a song. The reward is the activity itself.
So extrinsic is for a prize, and intrinsic is for the love of the game. Which one is better?
That's the key question. Extrinsic motivators are great for getting you started. The promise of a better job can be a powerful push, but they are not very good at keeping you going when things get tough. If you are only studying for an exam, what happens after the exam is finished?
You stop studying.
Exactly. Long-term success in language learning is fueled by intrinsic motivation. It's the internal fire that keeps you going for years. The strategies we're going to discuss today are all designed to help you build and protect that internal intrinsic motivation. Our first strategy is the most important one. When you feel your motivation disappearing, you need to go back to the beginning and reconnect with your why.
What do you mean by our why?
Your why is your deep, personal, emotional reason for learning English. It's not just to get a good job. We need to go deeper. Why do you want that job? Maybe it's to provide a better life for your family. Maybe it's to earn the respect of your colleagues. Maybe it's to have the freedom to travel. That emotional core is your real why.
So it's the story behind the goal.
Precisely. When we get lost in daily grammar exercises and vocabulary lists, we forget the big, beautiful picture. We forget the dream that started us on this journey. Low motivation is often a sign that you have lost connection with your why.
So what's the practical action here?
I want everyone listening to do this. Take a piece of paper or open a new note on your phone. Write down the question, why am I really learning English? And write down the answer. Be honest and emotional. I'm learning English so I can talk to my grandchildren in Canada and hear the stories they tell me. I'm learning English because I want to feel confident and independent when I travel the world. I'm learning English because I love stories and I want to read my favorite fantasy books in their original language. Read this why every single day. Put it on your bathroom mirror, on your computer screen, or on your nightstand. When studying feels like a chore, your why will remind you that it's not a chore. It's a step towards your dream.
Okay, I love that. Having a big dream is inspiring, but sometimes that big dream can also feel very far away and intimidating. The goal of becoming fluent can feel impossible.
You've hit on a huge problem. This brings us to strategy number 2. Break it down and focus on small wins. A huge goal like become fluent doesn't give your brain a clear, immediate task, so you feel overwhelmed and do nothing. We need to shrink the goal until it is so small that it's impossible to fail.
What does a small goal look like?
Instead of, I will study English today, your goal could be, I will learn 5 new vocabulary words related to food. I will listen to 1 5-minute podcast. I will write 3 sentences using the past simple. I will say good morning in English to 1 person.
Those are so small and manageable. You can definitely do that.
Exactly. Each time you complete one of these tiny tasks, your brain gets a small hit of dopamine, a chemical that makes you feel good. You get a win. This creates a positive feedback loop. Small win after small win builds momentum. It makes you feel successful today, not in 2 years. This feeling of progress, even small progress, is incredibly motivating. So forget about the mountaintop for a moment. Just focus on taking the next tiny step. Before our next strategy, let's stop for our vocabulary corner.
My favorite part of the show. What's our first word?
Our first word is plateau, P-L-A-T-E-A-U. A plateau is a large, flat area of land that is higher than the land around it. But we also use it as a metaphor. In learning, a plateau is a period where you feel you are not making any progress. For example, I've been studying for a year, but now I feel like I've hit a plateau.
A very useful word for this topic. Okay, next up are our 2 key words from earlier, intrinsic and extrinsic. Intrinsic is I-N-T-R-I-N-S-I-C. It means relating to the essential nature of a thing, coming from within. For example, curiosity is a powerful intrinsic motivator for learning. Extrinsic is E-X-T-R-I-N-S-I-C. It means coming from outside, not part of the essential nature of something. For example, getting a higher salary is a common extrinsic motivation for learning a new skill.
Perfect definitions. Our next word is milestone, M-I-L-E-S-T-O-N-E. A milestone is an important event in the development or history of something or in a person's life. For example, having my first conversation in English was a huge milestone for me.
And our last one is a verb we all know too well, to procrastinate. P-R-O-C-R-A-S-T-I-N-A-T-E. To procrastinate means to delay doing something that you should do, usually because you do not want to do it. For example, when I feel unmotivated, I tend to procrastinate by watching TV instead of studying.
Excellent. We have plateau, intrinsic, extrinsic, milestone, and to procrastinate. Try to use them when you think about your own motivation. Welcome back. Our third strategy is about fighting the biggest enemy of motivation, boredom. The strategy is add variety to your routine.
The human brain really doesn't like doing the same thing every single day, does it?
Not at all. Even if you have the best study routine, doing it over and over again can become boring. And when you're bored, your intrinsic motivation disappears. The solution is to mix it up. Think of it like a healthy diet. You can't just eat broccoli every day, even though it's good for you. You need different kinds of healthy food.
So, what are some ways to add variety to an English learning diet?
There are so many. The goal is to engage your brain in different ways. Change your skill focus. If you always practice grammar, spend a week focusing only on listening. Change your materials. If you always use a textbook, try learning from a comic book or a graphic novel. If you always use a language app, try reading a blog about your favorite hobby. Change your environment. If you always study at your desk, try going to a coffee shop or a park. A change of scenery can make a big difference. Change your method. Instead of just reading, try something active. Watch a 10-minute video and then try to summarize it out loud. Learn the lyrics to a new song in English and sing it. The key is to keep your brain guessing. Variety makes learning feel new and exciting again, which is a huge boost for your intrinsic motivation. When you're on that intermediate plateau we talked about, it feels like you're not moving. Strategy number 4 is about proving to yourself that you are. Track your progress.
How does that help with motivation?
Because your feeling of being stuck is often just a feeling, not a fact. You are making progress, but it's slow, so you don't notice it day to day. You need a way to look back and see how far you have come. This creates a tangible sense of achievement.
So we need evidence of our improvement. What are some good ways to track progress?
Here are a few powerful ideas. 1. The jar method. Get a glass jar. Every time you study for 25 minutes, one Pomodoro session, put a small stone or a marble in the jar. Watching the jar fill up is a beautiful visual representation of your effort. 2. Record yourself. Once a month, record yourself speaking for 1 minute about your day or a simple topic. After 6 months, go back and listen to your first recording. You will be shocked at how much you've improved. Your accent, your speed, your vocabulary, the progress will be obvious. 3. Keep an I can journal. Instead of a to-do list, keep a list of things you can now do in English. For example, this week I learned how to order coffee politely. Today, I understood the main idea of a news article. This focuses on your accomplishments, not just your tasks. When you feel unmotivated, looking at your full jar, listening to an old recording, or reading your I can journal provides concrete proof that your hard work is paying off. It's the evidence you need to keep going. All right, we're going to group our last 3 strategies together because they are perfect for those moments when you have zero motivation and you just want to quit. I call this the Motivation Rescue Trio.
I love that name. A rescue kit for our motivation. What's the first part of the trio?
Strategy 5 is find a community. Don't learn alone. When you feel down, other people can lift you up. Find a language exchange partner, join an online challenge, or find a study group. Just knowing that someone else is expecting you can be enough to make you show up. Sharing your struggles and celebrating your wins with others makes the journey much less lonely and much more fun.
That makes a lot of sense. It's hard to stay motivated in isolation. What's the second rescue strategy?
Strategy 6 is reward yourself. When you achieve a goal, even a small one, celebrate it. You need to connect the hard work of learning with a positive feeling. This is a form of extrinsic motivation, but we can use it to support our intrinsic goals. Finished a difficult chapter in your grammar book? Watch an episode of your favorite English series on Netflix. Practiced speaking for 30 minutes? Make yourself a special cup of tea or coffee. Reached a learning milestone like 100 hours of study? Treat yourself to something nice. The reward doesn't have to be big, but it should be immediate. This teaches your brain that effort leads to pleasure, which makes you more likely to put in the effort next time.
I am very good at rewarding myself. Okay, what is the final and maybe most important rescue strategy?
Strategy 7 is for the moment you are sitting on the sofa and the thought of opening your book feels impossible. It's a famous productivity hack called the 2-minute rule. The rule is simple. Commit to studying for just 2 minutes.
2 minutes? That's it? What can you possibly do in 2 minutes?
You can open your book. You can review 3 flashcards. You can read 1 paragraph. Anyone can do something for 2 minutes. The magic of this rule is that starting is the hardest part. Overcoming the inertia, the resistance, is the main battle. Once you have started, even for just 2 minutes, it is much, much easier to continue. Often, your 2-minute session will turn into a 10-minute session, or even a full 25-minute Pomodoro. The 2-minute rule isn't about the 2 minutes of work. It's about the power of showing up and getting started. And that's our final strategy. It's amazing how much power these simple ideas have.
Let's do a quick recap of our 7 strategies for staying motivated.
Let's do it. 1. Reconnect with your why. Remember your deep emotional reason for learning. 2. Break it down. Focus on tiny, achievable goals to build momentum with small wins. 3. Add variety. Fight boredom by changing your materials, methods, and environment. 4. Track your progress. Use a journal or recordings to see how far you've come. 5. Find a community. Don't learn alone. Connect with other learners. 6. Reward yourself. Celebrate your milestones to create positive associations. 7. The 2-minute rule. When you don't want to start, just commit to 2 minutes.
A perfect summary. As we head into the last part of the year, it's a natural time to think about our goals and our motivation. But please remember, motivation is not a constant thing. It's like a wave. It comes and goes. It's normal to have days with low motivation.
So the goal isn't to be 100% motivated every single day?
Not at all. The goal is to have the tools and systems in place to keep you going even when you don't feel like it. Your habits and your why are more reliable than your feelings.
That's a really comforting thought. It's okay to not feel perfect. You just need a good plan.
Exactly. And that is all the time we have for today on Espresso English. We hope you feel re-energized and ready to continue your amazing English learning journey.
Thank you for listening. Choose one of these strategies and try it this week. You've got this.
Until next time, be kind to yourself, stay consistent, and keep learning. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.